While Johnny's Volcano car will be based on a Volkswagen Golf, the extra power and four-wheel drive required to make it something really special will have to be sourced from another car, and Lee knows just where he can find it.
Yeah, there he's up there, look. She looks beautiful. What that?
This was a 3-year-old Subaru Impreza WRX. Now it's an insurance write-off.
It's not a Subaru, is it?
That's a donor car.
You're joking me, mate.
No.
This is the most wrecked and unrecognisable donor car they have ever chosen.
Mate, it's alright, it'll be alright. It's got an engine and box, you don't really need it.
It's right from the back end, yeah.
Now, give me it. Low mileage, one careful one now. Yeah, don't worry, it's fine.
Beneath this crumpled body lies a 300 horsepower engine and four-wheel drive, producing performance the likes of which have enabled the Subaru World Rally Team version of the car to win 6 World Championship titles. So, with a 0 to 60 time of just 4.6 seconds, this Japanese supercar was a serious bit of kit before its crash. The boys reckon its engine and four-wheel drive could still be intact.
I personally think it might actually work. It'll be a miracle, but I think it might actually work. As long as you two are fine with getting the engine running, if you're confident with that, then I'll transplant the running gear onto the Golf.
Fancy that, a Japanese Golf. It's a gamble, but for a small wad of cash, the boys think it's worth taking a punt with Bernie's money. Of course, Bernie might think differently.
I gave him a lot of weight to take with him, right? How much he's going to spend of it, I don't really know. But, you know, let's see. We bought this car for Johnny Vegas. You know, he's a big star in every sort of shape or form. So, really what he's got, I'm sure it'll be fitting with a star. You having a bleating laugh with me? You gotta be having a bleating joke. What the bloody hell is this? How much did he pay to take this bloody thing away?
We'll pay 700 quid for it.
You paid what?
Engine's worth that, man.
You've got to be out of your box. I mean, what? You paid £700 for this piece of shit?
More important, it was £700 of your money. It's a good engine, right? I got assured this from a friend. At the end of the day, when someone crashes a car, when you buy a car that's been crashed, you know it was running at some point that they crashed it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have crashed it, right?
What was it, 150 mile an hour smash?
They clear some space from the scrapyard.
It looks worse than it is. It's all it is.
Yeah, so do I, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's
but
all right.
£700 for this piece of shit. Well, I'll tell you something, right? You can pay for it, because I don't want to know about it.
At the end of the day, he's a mechanic, we do body work, so we can see what's underneath it. He'll come round later, you know, once we bought him a cup of tea, he'll be all right.
Thankfully, the Volkswagen Golf Mark II Bernie's found for the Subaru's running gear to go into looks a lot more like star material.
Compared with that other 5-door piece of poo we bought, this is like a princess. At least it's 3-door. We're halfway there.
Yeah, it looks all right. It's nice and solid. As long as Jules reckons that the chassis is all right. All this is immaterial, really, because, you know, his Leepu gets crack on and he'll cut the wheel arches off anyway, you know, Leepu within 30 seconds of having it. So
I'm looking forward to this. I know nearly every nut and bolt on these, so I can rip them apart in no time at all.
Yes, that's right. The Golf won't be looking this good for long. Shaun and Lee have to strip out all of its internal parts to create a completely empty shell, ready for the Subaru engine and running gear to go into.
Strip the car down like this in 20 minutes is nothing major. Engine and box will be out probably in about half hour. We'll have this down to a bare shell within start to finish probably about 2 hours.
I tell you, I wouldn't like to leave a car with these two guys for like 10 minutes and I've nothing left.
I bet you couldn't put all that stuff back in the same time you ripped it out.
Damn right, you couldn't. Just going to drop all the front suspension, throw that in the bin. All ready to Julian can measure up for the Subaru running gear.
While reducing the Golf to an empty shell is relatively easy, stripping down the Subaru to extricate the engine and running gear is going to be rather more of a challenge.
The reason we're using the Subaru is we're using it as a donor car for the Golf. And basically what that is using the running gear out of. It's a term we use for the engine, the transmission, the prop shaft, and all the drive shafts. In this case it's 4-wheel drive, so there's 4 drive shafts, 1 prop shaft, 2 diffs, transfer box and a gearbox and an engine.
They start with the least difficult bit, underneath.
Basically undo the prop shaft, take the whole rear axle assembly, it's in sort of like a subframe, so that just drops down in one unit so that Julian can line it up to put it into the new car.
It'll be Julian's job to marry the Subaru running gear to the Golf, so he's come to have an early look at how they might fit together.
You put the power down on that, and it's not fucking bolted up properly, it's not mounted properly, it's just going to rip off, isn't it? Yeah.
With the rear axle removed, Shaun and Lee turn their attention to the top side of the car. Since this took the full brunt of the collision, the job's about to get a whole lot tougher.
It's horrible, where it's been in such a hard impact, all the windows are smashed, there's glass absolutely everywhere. So I can see me getting quite a few cuts stripping out and things like that. But it's really messy, like everything's just all over the place. So you've got to figure out where everything is in case we cut the wrong wire or something. It could mess us all up.
If we've got any broken wires, we can repair them, get the engine back up and running. And then we know we are with the engine, whether the engine still works, whether we have to get a new engine, you know, all them bits and pieces like that.
But will the engine actually work after its colossal smash? Shaun starts looking for signs of life.
Basically, Shaun's got a diagnostic system. It plugs into the 16-pin connector on the car. It reads reads the ECU, see if there's any fault codes. It runs tests throughout the engine management system, tests all the sensors and stuff like that.
No diagnostic code trouble codes.
It looks like good news, but Lee's not ready to celebrate just yet.
Unusually, considering how bad this car is, it come up with no faults. Doesn't actually tell us that we haven't got a mechanical failure. Because the front pulley's been smashed off in the accident, it still could have bent all the valves. It's more than likely it has, but, you know, you never know. You might get lucky.
To try starting the car, they've got to access the wiring loom to locate the immobiliser and disable it.
Well, I'm about to cut the roof off now so that we can get easier access into the vehicle, sort out all the wiring loom, get rid of the immobiliser and things like that. It's just we keep on banging our heads and there's glass everywhere, so I'm going to whip the roof off, hoover it all out so it's nicer for us to work on.
All modern cars got lots of different skins inside because loads of different structural points. So they are it's not easy cutting the roof off, but the fire brigade will tell you that. Watch out for the glass.
Even with the roof off, it'll take a while to find the immobiliser. In the meantime, they discover a crucial engine timing belt snapped and came off in the smash. This could be bad news.
If this belt snaps, what normally happens is because this is like a timing system, the valves are timed so that they clear the pistons. If this snaps, they can collide with the pistons, which will bend the valves, which is not really a good thing.
Bent valves would mean a complete engine rebuild, something they just don't have time or tools to do. So Bernie might have to fork out for a new engine.
I don't want to put my hand in my pocket for a new engine, I'll be very honest with you. That is really going to bury us completely. But on the other hand, if there's any serious damage done to this engine, we've got no other option, we're going to have to go for the new engine.
So, as the man who took the gamble buying the car for its powerful engine, the pressure's on Lee as he fits and calibrates a new timing belt, ready to turn the engine and find out whether or not those valves are bent.
Now it's the moment of truth. That's all timed up. All we've got to do is spin it over a few times. It should give us a rough idea whether the valves are bent. If it don't turn, they're really bent. I mean, the engine can still turn over by hand, and they could still be bent slightly.
Done the best, it all lines up, so the testing time is now. Give it a 12, Sunshine. Anthea, give it a 12. Yeah, yes. Tastes good.
It's got compression, you can feel the compression strap.
Looks good, sounds good and feels good.
Look. Right.
It looks pretty good. It does look very, very good. It's turning over, and Lee's had this compression there.